Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Alec Walt Show. It is your favorite guest host, Conor Robinson, with Down the Block Sports here. Make sure you check out all of our content, subscribe to the channel, smack the notification bell. You know the drill. Joining me today, of course, is Alec Walt to my left, and we're here to talk about the latest trade in the NFL here. Teddy Bridgewater to the Broncos from Carolina, a sixth-round pick in this year's draft. Walt, what are your initial thoughts on this trade here?
Well, I was really hoping Teddy B would find a new home because obviously Carolina made a move earlier this offseason acquiring Sam Darnold from the New York Jets, and obviously that would lead to a quarterback controversy. Now in Carolina, there is no controversy. The starting quarterback for next year and in the future is going to be Sam Darnold. Now, I really didn't think there would be Teddy would get traded. Obviously, that would require Carolina to eat some money in return. Carolina will pay Bridgewater $7 million. The Broncos will pay Bridgewater $3 million. So I think that did contribute to a move being made. Now, for Teddy Bridgewater, I think Denver is a perfect location because when you look at the front office, their GM is a former front office member of the Minnesota Vikings. He was part of the group that drafted Teddy Bridgewater a few years ago. Pat Shurmur is the offensive coordinator who was the tight ends coach with Minnesota. He didn't have a full year to work with him due to injuries, but with him being in Minnesota, he has some familiarity in the offense that he will be working with now with the Denver Broncos. Now, when you're Denver, I don't think this trade makes that much sense outside of the familiarity standpoint because realistically, I don't know how much better he is than Drew Lock. Again, he's a consistent veteran quarterback. Denver's been giving mixed signals all offseason. They like the potential of Drew Lock. They're impressed with some of the workouts he's made. And then they make this quarterback saying how impressed they are with just having a veteran presence in a quarterback room. So again, it's kind of like which one you going with here? But at the end of the day, if you can get a starting level quarterback for a sixth-round pick, pay him $3 million, you can go to ownership saying that you did win the trade. But when you're in a division with Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert and a Las Vegas Raiders team that's always going to hover around 500, I don't think adding Teddy Bridgewater makes you much better. Obviously, if you have a young quarterback who's cheap, you might as well see what he can do. If you suck, tank, get a quarterback next year. Also, if you want to draft and develop another quarterback, you have the ninth pick of the draft this year, and you have the ability to get one of the five quarterbacks here in this draft. Now, I mean, obviously, they say Denver's still in the market. I think that's a little crap. I think that's just clickbait at this point. Denver has two quarterbacks on the roster. They're not drafting one with the number 9 overall pick. I truly think they should go on the defensive side of the ball. But for Teddy Bridgewater, he's a veteran QB that needed to find a new home. He goes to a new home with a lot of coaches and front office members that he's familiar with. And he has Melvin Gordon and, Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, Noah Fant. There's some talent here on this offense, so it's going to be a quarterback battle. I think Teddy Bridgewater goes to a situation, whether it's virtual or not here in the offseason, where he can find a way to adjust the new playbook. But this sucks for Drew Lock. I don't love this trade for Denver, but at the end of the day, Carolina has found their true franchise quarterback with Sam Darnold. No quarterback controversy. We'll see how Bridgewater does at his new home here in Denver.
So with the ninth pick, as you touched on, you would like to see him go defensive, but do you think there's any possibility maybe they trade back and try to get a couple more assets? What do you see happening now that they've gotten Teddy Bridgewater?
Well, here's the thing. Like, Denver was always that team that could draft a QB, which meant a lot of people speculated that Detroit or Carolina could trade back. Now, most likely, if someone's going to trade up, you either love a skilled player, love a defenseman, or you want that quarterback. Everyone thought, New England could move up and get a quarterback. I think Denver should go best player available. I think they're in a position to go best player available because if they take a Surtain or a Horn or a Micah Parsons, all three of them work. Now, if they do trade back, I don't think that's a terrible idea. But, when you want to talk about the quarterback position, Atlanta, Cincinnati, Miami, Detroit, Carolina, Denver, Dallas, New York, Philly, LA, and Minnesota, all the teams ahead of New England that are after the number 3 pick, all don't need a quarterback. So I don't really know who trades up unless someone's just completely in love with someone. I wouldn't hate the fact that Denver could possibly move back, but they have no reason to not take the best defensive player available. So, it'll be interesting to see what they do. I don't think trading back is the best move. But if you get offered a first-round pick this year and then a first-round pick next year, why the hell not? So they're in rebuild. Are they really in rebuilding mode? I don't really know. They're kind of like stuck in the middle. And that's another reason why I don't really love this trade that well either. But if I'm Denver, I'm using that number 9 pick. I'm getting the best defensive prospect available to fit in with your defensive-minded head coach there in Vic Fangio.
Yeah, they are in a weird spot, as you said, and with Teddy Bridgewater being at 28, it is a good age, and the $3 million is a good, amount to pay a guy who's got years under his belt. What do you think the Broncos' ceiling is for this season then?
I think they're a bottom 2 team in this division. I don't think adding Teddy Bridgewater really changes anything. Obviously, when you look at the top of this division, it's Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes, the best quarterback in the NFL. Kansas City went to the Super Bowl the last 2 seasons. I think they have a very good chance to go back next year. Looking at the Los Angeles Chargers, they have Justin Herbert, who's one of the best top 5 young quarterbacks in the NFL. I think they have a chance to improve. Of course, LA's issues last couple of years has pretty much been everything but the quarterback. They've had Phillip Rivers, who was breaking passing records, and a team that just missed a field goal or a block punt and lost a game. I mean, that's just been their unfortunate reality. I do still think Justin Herbert, who's one of the better young QBs, has the chance to take that team somewhere. We'll see how they do with the new coaching staff. And you look at Las Vegas, they're a team that always gets a great win and a couple stupid losses, and they're going to hover around 500 because I truly don't think John Gruden has a plan. But, I don't think Denver's better than Kansas City. I don't think Denver's better than LA. Maybe they get a win. They split here with that series against the Raiders, but they're not much better than they are today. And I don't think their defense is amazing. That's why I do think they should target the defensive side of the ball. They have some pass rushers, Von Miller, Bradley Chubb. They have some things to work with there in the back end of that defense, which is why I think they should absolutely go corner here with number 9 if there is someone available like Patrick Surtain or J.C. Horn. But I thought they were a bottom 2 team before the trade. I think they're a bottom 2 team after the trade. I don't think their record will be much better in 2021 than it was in 2020.
Now, you touched upon it in the division with the Raiders and Gruden and, of course, Pat Mahomes and all them. Do you think that Denver has a realistic shot of beating the Raiders this season and finishing in 3rd?
Yeah, because I don't really think the Raiders are that amazing. I mean, I think they're, a competitive team. I think Derek Carr is a solid quarterback. I don't love their defense. Obviously, I think they have one of the best running back duos in the league with Jacobs and Kenyon Drake. That running back duo is disgusting, but I thought they did a horrendous job last year in the 2020 NFL draft. Like, I'm surprised Gruden still has a job after that first round, getting Henry Ruggs, who's the most overrated receiver in the draft class, and the slot corner at Ohio State. Are you freaking kidding me? I don't think Gruden has a plan. I don't think he's had a plan this whole time. I thought they had some potential in year 1 or year 2. Now we're in, I think, year 4 or 5, and they're still pretty much what they were before. Can they get past them? Sure. I mean, obviously, they have a big win in them or 2. I feel like that's what Vegas does pretty much every single year. But at the end of the day, there's going to be injuries. If Vegas has more than Denver, I think Denver has the chance to go up. I know it's a terrible answer because we can't predict what's going to happen very soon. But these 2 teams are not very far off. They're just nowhere close to the other 2 teams in their division.
Absolutely. And I know we were talking before the show here, and you said there was an interesting stat that you wanted to share. I think I may have found it in that article that you sent me about Bridgewater and his 4th quarter performance.
Oh, it's terrible. You're in a division that has Mahomes, and you want a QB that can win in the 4th quarter. You want a QB that can win late in games. You want a QB that's going to play his best late in games. The best QBs in the league, they have 4th quarter comebacks. They make the big plays in the big moments. He had 1 touchdown in the 4th quarter last year and was 0-8. 0-8 in games where the Panthers had the chance to win in the last possession. And this is the guy you want starting on your team next year? What is Denver doing? They had the chance to draft a young QB, develop him behind Drew Lock. If Lock sucks, let him go, have the QB come in next year. And instead, they trade for Teddy Bridgewater, who's not that much better than Drew Lock, and you have 2 average quarterbacks going into your team next year. Have fun going 6-11 next year. Well, it's such a waste. Good for Teddy Bridgewater for getting out of there. But I truly don't think Denver knows what they're doing. What a stupid move. I think this is such a dumb trade for them. And good for him if it works out. I mean, seriously, good for him if it does. I think Teddy Bridgewater's team did a great job figuring out a way to get him out of Carolina because, let's be real here, Drew Lock is worse than Sam Darnold. I don't think he had a chance. Maybe because he knew the playbook. He could have helped something help him in week 1, but what does this do? Next thing you know, you're not going to have, like, if they go 6-11 next year, man, you're going to have a job? Oh, so you're going to have Teddy Bridgewater on the team next year and go through another coaching change?
It seems like
average.
It seems like a move where it's like the upside. It's a very low risk move to me, right? $3 million, veteran guy.
From a value standpoint, this is a great move. But where does it take you?
Exactly. It's low risk, low reward because if anything, you win a game or two here and there. But I mean, with Drew Lock, what happens with him now?
Now you stunt his growth because if he doesn't start, he has no trade value. You stunt a year of development. Now, Block hasn't been amazing. I'm not going to say he was. I think he had a very good rookie season. I think he's really regressed after that due to injury and inconsistencies. But they've given everything he needs to be successful this year. He has 2 elite weapons. He has a solid running back. A 2-1 tight end. Of course, the tight end, Akui Boonham, he's very familiar with when they played together at Missouri. But I don't get it. I don't. When I saw the trade, I was like, good for Teddy B, but I don't know if this is that great for Denver. Now, obviously, Denver's a team that was active in scouting quarterbacks. They went to Trey Lance's second pro day in North Dakota. They went to Justin Fields' second pro day. And instead, they add Teddy Bridgewater? I think this is going to be brutal for a lot of these teams that wanted to trade up because with Denver being that mystery team that could trade for a quarterback, that gives teams like Carolina and Detroit more interest in wanting to make a trade. Now, I think this messes with the trade market a lot because the only team that needs a quarterback after San Francisco is New England. And now Bill Belichick's sitting there like, why would I trade up when now Denver's not in the market for a quarterback? Of course, Schefter wants to make it seem like they're still interested in quarterback. I think that's complete fake news. I don't know why he wastes his time trying to think that's still a possibility. But hey, as a Patriots fan, thank you, Denver, because now one of their QBs are probably going to fall to New England in 15. I'm all about it. I cannot believe Denver made this move.
What QB at 15?
Probably Fields. I would love for Lance to fall. Again, we still have to see what San Francisco is going to do because I don't really exactly know yet because they keep giving mixed signals and everyone else has a different report from a different source, which is just pretty embarrassing that no one can really give you a direction. I think this is more of a interest attention grabber than actually giving us news. As someone who used to do a ton of draft coverage, kind of stepped back a little bit this year due to some career movements, just kind of proved to me how little people truly know about what's going on in the draft. It's kind of like, oh, San Francisco knows. San Francisco doesn't know. They're interested here. They're interested there. They don't know. Now they know. It's like, do you realize you're just sending mixed reports just to get people talking? So, I mean, that's a whole other side conversation. I think that's kind of embarrassing. But at the end of the day, I do think Fields is going to be the QB that likely falls. And if Denver's not scouting a quarterback, what reason does Bill have to move up? You think Carolina's going to draft a QB after trading for Darnold? You think Denver's going to draft a QB after trading for Teddy Bree and already having Drew Lock on the roster? Why would you bring in a third quarterback? You think Detroit, after acquiring that big contract for Jared Goff in his, I think, second or third year of that deal, is going to draft a QB now? No. All of them are going to make moves to try and help the team right now. So, heck, I don't know where someone goes after that. There could be a mystery trade. I think Washington's another huge winner because they might not have to move up 12 spots to do something. But, hell, Pittsburgh, they're looking for their future QB. Washington, New England, now they may not have to move up to 8 or 9 to do this because of Denver. So interesting timing to make this move. I think Denver should have just gone the younger route than going after someone who's, you kind of know what you're getting out of them. But hey, if they may like the consistency of the stability because Drew Lock hasn't been the most consistent, but you're just wasting your time at this point because I don't know what else Drew Lock can give you. And you just kind of prove to him he's not really exactly the true guy to lead your team in this direction.
It feels like to me, Elway's still the GM, right?
No, Patton is, who was with the Vikings, who drafted Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah, it seems to me like it's one of those moves where it's like they know they're not, because of Mahomes, they're not going to be able to do what they want to do. So again, like I said earlier, it's a low risk, low reward. Lets them keep their job another year, hopefully get a couple new pieces. And maybe they do take someone at 9 that is really good, or maybe they trade for assets or something. But it's to me, it shakes up every mock draft that's been made so far. This is going to be a buster move that, now everything's wide open with this move to me.
Yeah. I mean, I truly think they should go defense. I think this kind of leads to teams who need that quarterback that wants to trade up. Now they don't need to. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens tomorrow. But good for Carolina. Good for Teddy Bridgewater. And not so amazing for Denver. Have fun winning 6 games next year.
Absolutely. And that does it for me. Walt, anything else you want to mention before I give us the
I just would like to thank the Denver Broncos front office for removing themselves from the quarterback race so my New England Patriots can have a better chance at getting one of these quarterbacks in the NFL draft. I am laughing my behind off from this trade.
Let's give him a round of applause.
Good value. Good for Teddy B, but it doesn't take you anywhere.
And of course, with that, let's give him a round of applause and make sure that you subscribe to the channel, smack that notification bell. Tell me what you think of the Denver trade for Teddy Bridgewater. And of course, always make sure you have yourself locked into Down the Block Sports. We have tons of exclusive content coming out, not just from myself, but also from Mr. Walt over here. Other way. Hold on. There we go. Let me point it. There we go. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Have a wonderful day, and let's see how the draft unfolds.